In the beginning, there were only a few names that echoed across the silence of the earth: Adam, Eve, Cain, and Abel. Two brothers, one a keeper of sheep, the other a tiller of the ground. But from their rivalry would emerge one of the oldest, most mysterious, and most haunting stories in all of human history. Cain, the firstborn son of Adam and Eve, brought an offering of the fruit of the ground to the Lord. Abel, his younger brother, brought the firstborn of his flock. And God looked with favor upon Abel's offering, but not Cain's. Why? The text doesn't say. Was it the quality of Cain's gift, the state of his heart, or was there something deeper? Whatever the reason, jealousy burned inside Cain. And one day, out in the fields, it happened. Cain rose against his brother Abel, and with his own hands, he struck him down. The earth drank the blood of Abel, the first bloodshed in human history. Then came the voice of God, "Where is Abel, your brother?" Cain replied with words that still echo today, "Am I my brother's keeper?" But God's reply was swift, "The voice of your brother's blood cries to me from the ground." Cain was cursed to be a fugitive and a wanderer upon the earth. But Cain feared for his life. He said, "My punishment is greater than I can bear. Whoever finds me will kill me." And then comes the mystery. Genesis 4 verse 15. God responded, "Not so. If anyone kills Cain, he will suffer vengeance 7 times over." And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, so that no one who found him would harm him. But what was this mark? A curse or protection? The Bible never explains. It leaves us with a riddle, a shadowy clue that has puzzled scholars, theologians, and seekers for millennia. Some say the mark was physical, perhaps a scar, a shining symbol, or even a supernatural glow that warned others not to touch him. Others believe it was spiritual, a curse woven into his very being, a dark aura of divine judgment. Still others suggest it was protection, a paradoxical mercy from God. Though Cain was guilty of murder, he would not be murdered himself. But this raises another question. Who did Cain fear? If only Adam, Eve, and their children existed, who were these others who might kill him? Was the world already populated with other beings? Or does this hint at a deeper mystery, that the story of Genesis is part of something larger than we know? Ancient Jewish traditions, like the Midrash, suggest the mark was a letter of God's name inscribed on Cain's forehead, glowing as a warning. The historian Josephus wrote that Cain became a wanderer, building cities and fathering nations, as if the mark was not just protection but also destiny. The Book of Jubilees, another ancient text, describes Cain as a builder who never rested. Could the mark have been a restless spirit, driving him to create, to conquer, to leave behind a legacy born of guilt? And then, there are darker interpretations. But if it was only a curse, why would God declare vengeance on anyone who harmed him? Perhaps the mark was both, a paradox, a curse for his sin, and yet a protection of his life, a reminder that judgment belongs to God alone. Cain went east of Eden, into the land of Nod, and there he built a city. His descendants became smiths, musicians, builders, the foundations of human civilization. Could it be that the mark carried not only punishment but also power? That out of his exile came the seeds of culture, technology, and perhaps even rebellion against God? The story of Cain's mark has echoed across cultures. In ancient Sumerian legends, there are tales of kings marked by the gods, some blessed, some cursed. In other traditions, divine marks were seen as symbols of destiny, branding certain individuals as chosen or condemned. And even today, the phrase "the Mark of Cain" lingers in our language, symbolizing guilt, shame, and the weight of unrepented sin. Yet hidden in the story is something far more mysterious: mercy. For though Cain shed his brother's blood, God did not allow blood to be shed in return. Perhaps the mark is not only a story about punishment but also a warning about vengeance, a reminder that even in our darkest moments, God's justice is mingled with restraint. But here is the greatest mystery. Genesis says, Cain went out from the presence of the Lord. His mark remained, but the presence of God did not. What could be more terrifying? A life spared, but a soul wandering, forever restless, carrying a sign of both judgment and protection. So, was the mark of Cain a curse? Or was it protection? The truth may be both. A divine paradox, meant to teach humanity that justice is God's alone, and that sin leaves scars, seen or unseen, that echo across generations. The story of Cain is not just about the past. It is about us. For every human heart wrestles with jealousy, anger, guilt, and the need for forgiveness. And every human life bears invisible marks, some of shame, some of mercy. The question is, what mark will you carry?